Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, when it comes to Pokemon, Game Freak has definitely been struggling. They never fail to fail recently, and honestly I don't think they're helping themselves with the new Legends ZA. Obviously the reveal trailer came out about a week ago now, and it's been very mixed opinions online, so I'm here to give my opinion a week late, but you know, better late than never. I know I'm probably going to get some hate for making this video. I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's not all sunshine and rainbows in this video. I do have a lot to say about this game, which is quite funny because it's not even out yet, but I've got some opinions and I want you guys to hear me out before you know, leave the comments and everything and rip my face off. So let's just get straight into it. The first thing I want to point out is how short the Legends ZA video is compared to the Legends Arceus one. Legends ZA is about half the length of the Legends Arceus reveal, which is quite revealing when I get into the lack of things we have been shown for this game, because I genuinely believe what we see is actually what we are getting with Legends ZA. So the first real point is that we are stuck in the city. Now this is a big talking point. Obviously we've gone from Legends Arceus where you can travel 5 separate biomes, all different places. You know, you've got your ice mountains, you've got your cobalt waterland, you know, different environments for different Pokemon. It made sense. If you want an ice type, trot on over to the ice mountains. If you want a fire type, there's literally like a volcano island with magmas and stuff like that. But in Legends ZA, we've been left with wild zones, and it looks like wild zones are the only place we'll be able to catch Pokemon, and it looks like so far there's going to be at least up to 8 wild zones. I'm pretty sure that was in the trailer, and I just don't understand how it's going to be interesting to be catching Pokemon in these tiny restricted zones. This first zone looks incredibly small, full of cars and buildings. It just doesn't look like an engaging environment to be catching Pokemon. Like in Legends Arceus, you had these big open worlds, you was like dodging out of the way of attacks, you had multiple ways to engage a Pokemon. If you wanted to choose a stealthy route and throw it from a distance, you could do that. You could lure them with berries, just lob a wing ball at their head from like 20 feet, or you could actually battle them themselves. And there were stakes, you know, if you died you dropped items, and it'd always be all your rare candies and all your ultra balls that you spent ages crafting. But in Legends ZA, it just doesn't look very fun. I think the city environment really kills this game for me, and I just don't think it's going to be very interesting. I just don't think there's that much you can do in these wild zones. A sad thing about it as well, since it is just a city, there's not really, I can't imagine any mounts in this game. We had 4 different mounts in Legends Arceus. Obviously we had the flight, we had the water mount, we had the land mount, and then we had Ursaluna, not the best mount, but you know, he was in the game. I just don't imagine why we'd need these mounts in the city. We've got elevators, man. You know, we got these new elevators, dog. That's pretty awesome, right? And to say we're stuck in the city for the entire game, it just looks very empty and colourless. It looks really boring. Like, every house looks the same. You know, you have the tower, which is cool, but I honestly just wish it was set in the past, like Legends Arceus. I feel like that was the point in the Legends games. It was a really good excuse to build lore for the past of all these regions. You could have done Legends, you know, Chimchar for some reason. I don't know why you do that. We've already had Legends Arceus, but you know what I mean. You could have done it for the Kanto region. You could have done it for Scarlet and Violet if you wanted to. Like, you could have just made all these games explain the lore from the past. It's like, are we actually just going to catch Zygarde in the city? How are we meant to find new megas in a city? Are we just going to, like, you know, be walking on a pavement and a rock moves and we lift it up and it's just going to be Mega Darkrai or something? Like, that don't make sense. Or are we just going to go to the shop and they're going to be like, yeah, we found this in a yeah, we just found this in a, you know, a little Olin floor. Tons of mechanics gone that were useful and fun. You know, it felt like you had to survive in Arceus. You just felt like you was discovering things for the first time. Like, you was the scientist, you was the adventurer. You could have had us discover these new mega evolutions in the past and have that as like the explanation why these weren't in X and Y. Maybe the mega stones just fizzled out over time and that's why they didn't show up in X and Y. But yeah, that is the big chunk of the rant. We're going to talk about starter choices now. I didn't mind the starter choice, but the thing that does bother me about it is that there's 2 Gen 2 Pokemon and 1 Gen 5 Pokemon. That is the only thing that bothers me. I've seen a lot of Chikorita slander online. I don't understand that at all. Just look at the guy. He's a little guy. with a leaf on his head. But if I was going to swap any of them out, I would swap out Chikorita for maybe, you know, like a Grookey or something. Someone who hasn't had a Mega Evolution yet, which is not many people. You know, Rowlet would have been cool, but he had Decidueye form in Arceus. I don't know. It's a pretty solid choice. I think these are going to have some very interesting Mega Evolutions. But like I said, it just annoys me that there's 2 Gen 2 and 1 Gen 5. That is literally my only that's literally my only complaint with the starter Pokemon. Now we're going to move on to graphics. The graphic talk has been absolutely huge for years now. The graphics, I can confirm, are better than Scarlet and Violet, let's be real. You know, not much better, but it's better. But it's still not good enough. Nintendo seems so behind on graphics when they were so in front, like 10-15 years ago. Mario Galaxy could be a Switch game. Like, they could release Mario Galaxy now and it'd hold up, and like graphic wise and everything like that. And I do doubt that if this is Switch 1 gameplay, that the graphics will improve much at all on the Switch 2. I mean, it would be funny if this is Switch 2 gameplay, but I don't think it is. I do think, you know, Switch 2 gameplay will be a little bit better. It just feels like a downgrade from Legends Arceus. Like, the art style was completely different. I really liked the art style of Legends Arceus. I just really liked Legends Arceus. The vibe was so much better. Like, this feels like an X and Y 2 instead of a Legends game. It just does. It looks more like a mainline Pokemon game. Like, this could be a DLC in Scarlet and Violet, and I would not bat an eye. Like, if you honestly caught me in the streets and showed me this before I had any knowledge of Legends ZA and said this was a Scarlet and Violet DLC, I would believe you. But we're going to talk about the battling and everything like that. Now, I do think the battling looks good if it is a consistent FPS. Again, if it's Switch 2 gameplay, we're kind of cooked. Live battling will really depend on FPS and the performance of the Switch itself. It looks like it is going to be a little bit of a pain to get used to, but I like that they're trying new stuff. I do really like the new UI. I think it looks really clean. The new map looks nice in the top left. I do think NPCs look more lively when speaking. They seem to have more expression, which is good. I really hope there's better clothing in this game. The Scarlet and Violet clothes selection was absolute trash. Like, I could go in a bin and get a better outfit than Scarlet and Violet fits. The Megas look interesting. I do like how it's timer based, so you can't just, you know, become a Mega and spam it like for the entire battle. But the lack of the trailer does make me worried that there's not too much to the game. Like, I do really think they've shown off the main stuff that they have stored away from this game. Now, I haven't got any points left, so I'm just gonna riff a little bit. I could say all this and they could release a new trailer next week and be like, oh, you thought it was all in the city, and then it turns out there's just an entire world to explore. Like, they really could do that. This is obviously my opinion based off a 3.5 minute trailer. I've watched it a lot. I've really studied this trailer. Like, I'm not just grabbing this out of my arse and just saying it for the sake of it. I do really believe that this looks and feels like a downgrade to Legends Arceus. We got so much with Legends Arceus, and now that we're being given this, it feels unfair. Like, it is unfair. We really are being shafted if this is the full game. But like I said, it's early to say. Like, this game's probably not coming out till like September time, November time. I will keep a little bit of hope that they do just blow my socks off and absolutely surprise me, but I don't think that's going to happen with this game. So yeah, if you did hear me out and you have different opinions, please let me know in the comments. I do reply to comments, and you know, I can take criticism, guys. You know, if you do have a point, I do like having a good little chat with you guys. So yeah, that is my opinion on Legends ZA and how I feel like it is a downgrade to Legends Arceus. If you guys enjoyed the video and you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the diddly damn next one.